I am so sorry. Let's start that again. I am so sorry. No, it was me. It was me. I hit the wrong button. Here we are. Here we are. There are two buttons, one right next to each other. They'll both start me, but only one will unmute me. And did I hit the right button? No, I did not. No, I did not. But that's okay. These things happen. All right. So y'all can hear me now. All right. So Tarot Topics Weekly Newsletter Recap. The topic is how we stay magical. Medium that rocks. We still love you. Most appreciated. Yeah, all good now. So the topic was inspired by StaarCon. Because when we get together in that high vibe kind of place, and then we have to go home, we can miss that. We miss the connection. We miss the inspiration. But the whole point of these gatherings is that we are inspired and take that inspiration with us. Now, the other thing that inspired this topic is one of our headliners, Cardzy B. Her tagline is "Stay Magical AF." And I love that, so how do we stay magical? That is a great question. And that's what we're going to be working on here today. How do we stay magical? In the description, there is a link to read the newsletter, subscribe to the newsletter, and to have a reading with me. And you want to do that as well. Susan, good point. Magic or adrenaline? And, the physiology of magic is an interesting thing, right? Because I think sometimes, like if you need to gather your energy and you do an energy gathering where you work with your chakras and bring energy up, it's possible that the body responds with adrenaline. I mean, that's a real thing, right? There is a physiology to magic, for sure, for sure. All right. Medea Ness, I'm having a funny morning. I was on the last night's Global Tarot recording and thought it was the Tarot newsletter recap. All right. So, and when we talk about magic in this context, on one hand, there is the make sure your question's great. It's fine. You're good. You're good. So here's the thing. There is the sense of magic as something we practice, and there is the sense of magic as something that we are. And, what are the things that contribute to that? Some of it is practices, right? It's meditation. It's remembering who you are. It is literally the practice of magical things like tarot, like magical spells, like any of that. But it's also in our thinking. And that's a funny thing because in psychology, magical thinking is something you don't want. In psychology, magical thinking is where we okay, if I wear this necklace, it will keep me from getting cancer. End of story. That's magical thinking, right? But we need to be able to think magically, and we need to be able to remember that we are magical beings. We absolutely are. So from that perspective, let's hop on over to CardCam if I can push the right button, and let's see what we got. All right. As you can see, I've chosen Light Seers Tarot to work with today. And here we go. Barbie Bird, thanks for being a member for more than a year. We appreciate you. Thanks for using members only emojis as well. How can I express my magic? And what's magical about me that I'm overlooking? Oh, I love that. I love that. That feels like a 2-card spread, doesn't it? How can I express my magic? By unlearning the mundane energy that you were taught to accept when you were young. And I mean, as children, aren't we all magical as children? I think you really have to honor your inner child, Barbie Bird. And as a child, did you not steal spices from the spice cabinet and make potions? I did. Did you not pick up sticks and leaves and stones and think that they were special and magical? I did. That part of you, that inner child part of you, needs to come forward. That's what really needs to happen. And Barbie Bird, what's magical about you that you're overlooking? Your ability to do a bunch of stuff, man. You are really great at multitasking. You are really great at nuanced thinking. You are really great at allowing more than one thing to be happening at the same time. That's a skill. Okay. Yes, Mix You Ear, our cats are definitely a form of magic, without a doubt. TJ and GA, good to see you. How can I best step into my magical empowerment to create the life I desire? Great question. Oh my gosh. There is so much here about ancestral healing, ancestral work, and ancestral magic. I think a lot of it is about healing from what has been taken from you and healing from the things that you should have been taught but have not been taught. And then learning those things. Like really, I really feel like ancient cultural practices from your own lineage or from your own geographic place is what's going to help you most. All right. Mix You Ear, good to see you. So your question definitely makes sense because part of staying magical has to do with the people we're around and the people who inspire us and the people who don't inspire us and all of that. So the article about friendship spreads particularly resonated. There's a woman, and Mix You Ear, first of all, thank you for being a member, and thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Trey, there's a lot of people not inspiring me lately, right? Right? No, I hear that for sure. Okay, Mix You Ear. There's a woman I met at an event for fellow trans and non-binary folks that has latched on to me. She's very young, early 20s, struggling with family. I really empathize, but the 2 times we've hung out, she literally only talks about herself. We've all been here. I say something, she immediately pivots back to talking about her problems. I want to be empathetic, but I also don't want to spend my very limited energy with her. I told her about my trans non-binary choir, which she joined, so I need to be very delicate about this so I don't make choir awkward. Help. What do I need to know about handling this? So this is a very real thing. I'm going to speak to this as... I'm going to speak to an overarching part of this before I do the reading, because this is a very real thing that we all deal with, where we want to be helpful. We want to be, we want to be accommodating for people with what they're going through, but we also have to have boundaries. And I think Trey makes a good point here. Trey says, I've been in my early 20s before. A lot of people go through a phase where they can only think of themselves, and they're not necessarily narcissistic. That's true. In fact, I had a therapist say to me once, children by their nature are narcissistic, because that's all they can be. We all start out as little narcissists, and then most of us outgrow it. Right? And so, yeah, people in their early 20s, especially someone who is dealing with identity stuff, but let's take a look. What is so about this individual? This individual, I think Trey is probably onto something, that this is a youth issue more than a personality issue. It's a youth issue and a lack of support issue. At the same time, For you, Michelle, you have a limited amount of energy right now. You have real, like, medical stuff going on that makes it hard for you. And so you have to have good boundaries around your energy. So how do we support this person without having it be a drain on you? I think, give me a minute. I think you're one of the first people, Michelle, to show this person respect, understanding. Like, the reason this person has latched onto you is not necessarily that they're always going to be a Klingon. I think that you're one of the first people to show this person that sort of respect. And, you know, to sort of help this person understand who they are. And that's why there's that going on, right? Do I think that this person could develop into a good friend over time? Better. I think that there could be a better friendship over time, but right now you don't have the energy. So I think what you need to do is be very honest with yourself and with her about your availability. And still root for this person, still treat this person with respect, but don't feel like you have to spend more time and energy than you have. But I agree with Trey that this person might grow out of this over time. So there's that. There that is. And I think for you, Michelle, there probably is a spiritual lesson in just being able to wish this person well and put up that boundary. And how will this person react to a boundary? The boundary may need to be reinforced. So it may be hard, but I think this is a good thing for you as well. I think this is something you need to learn, is to set these boundaries. Make sure that tracks. Her family is abusive and manipulative. She's also autistic. And I think she's in a neurospicy hyper focus on the situation, which I totally get. Yeah, and she might be starting to latch onto you as a parental figure, which you really cannot be, because you don't want that responsibility. All you can do is sort of be a sibling on the journey and a sibling who kind of has their own needs and issues right now. So better to reinforce than to disappoint expectations you did not set. You know, because the hard thing is, if this person now sees you as like parents, and then you have to pull back, that's going to be painful. So better to start out pulled back. So there that is. All right. Melissa, so good to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member for more than 3 years. Right. Make sure I deliberately don't have human babies. And I think that can be a thing to say, look, you know, you're looking for parents, and you will probably find them within this community, people who can kind of step in and be that for you in a way. But I'm not that. And I think you can say that because, like, in the community, there's a lot of that, you know? There's a lot of we adopt each other, but you're not looking to adopt someone. Maybe you even know someone who is older and well and able, like maybe you can be a matchmaker of sorts. Because there certainly are people who are able to be that. I'm happy to be that for baby tarotists, you know, and baby psychic pros. I'm happy to be your psychic mama. But it's not your job. It's just not your job. Make sure, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Thank you for affirming me. Yeah, for sure. For sure, man. All right, Melissa, here we go. Thank you for being a member for more than 3 years. Thanks for using members-only emojis. Thanks for an amazing StaarCon and a wonderful newsletter. I sometimes doubt or underestimate my magic. Today, I even wonder if I know what my magic is. What does Spirit have to say about what my magic is and how I can cultivate it daily? I love it. Okay, your magic. This is huge. Your magic is, even when you have no other information, your ability to look at something and say, yeah, that's not right. You have a really intense intuition that causes you to see something sus and know that it's sus, even if you have no other information to give that to you. You are also really good at sort of groups of people and helping to facilitate groups of people and their enjoyment of one another. Unfortunately, you also have the magic of endurance, which causes you to endure things more than you should and for longer than you should. You also have a huge amount of creativity, and that's magical as well. So how do you cultivate this daily? I think you're doing it. In a lot of ways, I think you're doing it. I think you just need to know that you're doing it. Like, I think the things that I just said about you, I don't think you're going to disagree. I just don't think you saw them as sort of part of the magic. And so recognizing those things and, recognizing the strength of your intuition is really significant. And as you sort of work with divination yourself, I think there's something there for you. Whether you would ever want to take it professionally or not, that's up to you. But I really do think divination is a part of this for you. I do. Let me know what you think. Okay, and make sure, thank you for that. I wouldn't use that term. Like, I would not use the term energy vampire to describe the particular situation we're talking about. But the idea of the things that drain us, absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Smile Soul 20, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member. We appreciate you. Thanks for being a member for more than 3 years. How do you stay magical at all times? Keep your sense of humor. Don't let other people make you feel bad. And for you physically, you're someone who needs to keep moving. Whether it's walking, running, riding your bike, whatever, you are not good staying still. You have to keep moving. And you have to keep in connection with others. And sometimes you get kind of isolated, and that's not good. So you have to keep moving. You have to keep in connection with others. And you have to not let yourself be defined by others, but only by you yourself. Okay, Trey Cameron, so good to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member for more than a year. We appreciate you. I kind of feel like my creativity is starting to come back. Good. So that's good. But where does my magic best express itself, and what can I do to help foster it? I think you have magic around healing and perspective as well as around creativity. And I think you have magic in terms of community connections as well. And so do not fear other people. And I think sometimes we magical people fear other people, like because of Michelle's situation, where like you meet someone and then suddenly you just have all of these people who want a piece of you and you're not getting fed from that. You're feeding others, but you're not getting fed. We all, this is not just you, Trey, it's not just you, Mix You Ear, it's all of us. we all need to have those boundaries around people so that we can let the right people in and nurture the people we need to nurture from the outside when we need to do that. And then some people just need to be on the outside, and there it is. So I think for you, Trey, a lot of it is permission to handle people. Trey, I have to say my Leo rising is pretty good at setting boundaries with people. Maybe that's why I'm good at it too. I didn't realize that was a Leo rising thing, but yeah. So that is super, super important, Trey, because I think you need to lean into community connections and how we heal as a community. And I think you've got some magic there. All right. Baby Cakes, good to see you. Thanks for being here. How do I awaken my magic? Is there any magic in me left or one that I can work on? In the recent year or so, I mostly feel like a slug or a snail, so low and flat to the ground. Hang on one second, Baby Cakes. Trey Cameron, Leos put themselves first, sometimes to the point of narcissism, but not always. Thank you for that. Hey, Queen, ask an Aquarius. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. All right, so Baby Cakes. A slug or a snail, so low and flat to the ground. Then I get kicked by the bouts of energy, so I roll a bit, and then back again on the ground and back to being depressed and hopeless. So Baby Cakes, here's what I'm going to say. Find your inspiration where you're at. If you are a slug or a snail, then find your inspiration from the earth. And I know you're a person who cooks. I know you're a person who really cares about preparing healthy food. And so what you need, and I know it's hard, because Martha, you're in Connecticut, and Martha is telling me that it's snowing in Connecticut. So you'll feel better when the spring comes, I think. But I think what you need to do is earth magic. Grow a plant, bake some bread, do something that involves nurturance and sustenance and connection with the earth. And I think that will help you. And I think that is where a lot of your magic is. I also think, Baby Cakes, connecting with others. I feel like you can get a little isolated as well. And so connecting with others makes sense. All right, Martha Vink, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member. Von Ray, you're up next. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member for more than 3 years. Susan, theoretically, we are all magical beings. That's kind of the point, theoretically. Von Ray, I'm still struggling with finding the magic. I know you always say to keep going, but dang, I feel like I need a little magic right now to keep me from giving up completely. What can I do that will actually work? And it sounds like you're looking for a spell right now, this minute. And so when we look at that, yeah. Oh my gosh, you know what you need? And forgive me, I'm going to make a Harry Potter reference, and I recognize that there's a lot of reasons why I should not make a Harry Potter reference, but I'm going to because it's the quickest way to where I'm going. You know how in Harry Potter there is an invisibility cloak? Von Ray, you need the exact opposite of that. You need a visibility cloak. Here's what you need to do. I am not kidding. I would take something that you can wear every day. So maybe a piece of jewelry or something like that you could put on your body every day. Or like a watch, if you wear a watch every day, whatever, something you put on your body every day, the same thing. So it can't be socks because you change your socks every day, right? So a piece of jewelry, something like that you can wear every day. If you don't have something, just go get something. It can be cheap and easy. And every day you're going to put it on and you're going to say, this is my cloak of visibility. I will be seen. I will be comfortable being seen. I will be appreciated. I will be comfortable being appreciated. My energy goes out, is seen, is met, and is reciprocated. Try that. There's your magic spell. All right. Let me know what you think. Ah, baby cakes. Yeah, weather today is gross. Right, you have plants. So yeah, true about plants. Yeah, there it is. Plants, cooking, and more humans. There it is. There it is. All right. All right. So yeah, I think magic can be a practice. It can be an affinity. It can be skill and talent. It can be a lot of different things. All right. Vaishali, good to see you. How can I stay magical? What are the things that are magical around me? What's the magical thing within me? Honestly, by doing your studies, you are finding your magic. And I know it's hard. Okay, Ness, I will absolutely get to you. Yes, 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 yes. Come back. Okay, Vaishali. Vaishali. Your magic hides where you're afraid to go get it. Your magic hides in books. Your magic hides in the education that you're seeking. But you have a lot of anxiety around accessing it. And yet you keep going, and that's your magic too. So it's about perseverance, knowledge, and learning. Okay. Martha Vink, so good to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member for more than a year. I just started to learn about some of my other magic at StaarCon, and I'm so grateful. Might I be able to sneak in the parlor game of Lenormand at a church fun day without getting in hot water? Especially given that it was originally the Game of Hope, which was a Christian card game. What say the cards? I think you could, but you would have to be careful because it is fortune telling. And there is this question around fortune telling in Christianity. And so I think you would have to be careful about how you presented it. But I think it is possible that you could. Hey, Betty Fleischer, good to see you. It was so great to see you at StaarCon. All right. Medium that rocks. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member. Thank you, Christiana and IT John, for an incredible StaarCon. You are very welcome. Thanks for being part of it. Finally, I can move forward with a new life. How do I keep that afterglow enthusiasm? Where do I start for launching my tarot business? And recognizing, medium that rocks, that your tarot business and your mediumship business are kind of one and the same. There are some things that'll be easier to market, like it's going to be easier to market tarot for parties, right? So there's going to be some things that are easier to market in one way or another. But it's kind of all one and the same, isn't it? And how do you move forward with it? Well, the seeds are already planted, my friend. You're already doing it. You just need to do it more. This really is a case of remembering who you are, remembering what you are, and doing the things. And that can be advertising online. That can be presenting yourself to a cafe owner and saying, hey, I'd like to do an evening here once a week. You know, I mean, it could be anything. But it's just a matter of knowing it, claiming it, speaking it, and doing the things. And there it is, because it's already there. It's already there. You don't have to create it. You just have to bring it up. Martha, thanks. It's about telling a story in a way, but yes, I'd need to word it carefully. A fun challenge. Yes. Yes. All right. Okay. Gemini Sun, you're up next. Thanks for being a moderator. We appreciate you. I feel like my magic and happiness have been stolen. I know it's within me, but I really can't find it right now. I get it. I've been struggling. What do the cards have me to help? And you'd like some spells to get your magic back. I will share those, and that can be for anybody. So for you specifically, Gemini Sun, I think you have to be careful of the stories you're telling yourself. It's okay to feel bad and stuck and not good, but recognize that it is in this moment. In this moment, I'm feeling this way. It's not permanent. And it's really important to recognize that, to acknowledge how you're feeling, but acknowledging that it's not permanent. Now, what are some spells that Gemini Sun or any one of us could do to help bring that back? To help bring that back, or to help bring that forward? For you, Gemini Sun, the thing is, there is a whole history, and I think this could date back to childhood, of sort of negative characterizations of you and your abilities. And that needs to go away. That needs to go away. And so you have to be really careful what you're telling yourself. Now, a spell to find your magic, I would say use tarot. Here's what you're going to do, and this is good. This could be true for any of us. We could all do this. Find the magician in the tarot card, in the tarot deck. Find the magician, and then find the card that describes how you're feeling right now. So maybe it's like the magician and the Seven of Swords, or no, say the Nine of Swords. There's a depression there, right? So we've got the Nine of Swords. That's the card for how you're feeling right now, or whatever it might be. Take that card, acknowledge that's how it's feeling, that's how you're feeling, and put it face down, face down. Then take the magician and breathe with the magician. Feel the magician in you and put that face up on top of it. Leave it that way overnight. Try that, see how it works. That's a quick one. All right. All right. Joyous Ocean, Dion, so good to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member for more than a year. Thanks for using members-only emojis. I do a good job remaining magical. You do. But I don't feel I always use my magic for myself. Yeah, there you go. Other people benefit from it. How can I benefit from my own magic? Maybe I don't see how I benefit. Well, I mean, in a way you are and you do because you're still here. But how could you benefit more from your own magic? Do intentional magic for yourself. If you need more money, you need a job, you need whatever, do the magic to make it happen, like literally cast spells. Do tarot magic. You've got a tarot deck. Easy peasy, 1, 2, 3, easy. Do the practice, and that will help. Jackie Masters, so good to see you. Glad that you liked the newsletter. Thanks for being here. Who's up next? Febborn, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member. What magical aspect of myself is being hidden, and how do I bring it or them out? I think that ship has sailed in a way. I think that it was hidden, but I don't think it's hidden anymore. It is your inspiration, your vision, yourself as a writer, your ability to see and connect, your psychic ability. I think the thing that is left is to share it with others, to share yourself with others. I think that's the next piece, Febborn. So this is a good question, Betty. Do the spell and don't wait for the new moon or the full moon to do it. So depends on your tradition, but here's where I'm at. I mean, if it's convenient, will I use the energy of the moon? Absolutely, I will. But here's the thing. I am all about the magic of great need. And even like a heavy-duty ceremonial magician who wants, all the moon phases and the astrology and all the things and the day of the week and wants it all to be correct. Even a ceremonial magician will agree with me that great need equals great power. that in the time of great need, you don't necessarily need to have any of it right. You just need to have the energy of great need. And so if you have the time and the ability to make a plan and to bring in all of those magical aspects appropriately, by all means do. But if there is great need, there is great need, and that supersedes. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Let me know what you think. Obviously, your mileage may vary. All right. Here we go. Okay. Oh my goodness, Ness, you just got an email from your boss for something was given to someone else. Problem never communicated to you. Now you're off dealing with that. But Mediha Ness, so good to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member for more than 2 years. Thanks for using members only emojis. What should you know about your magic? Your magic is ancestral and cultural and really, really special in your hands because of your creativity. The problem is you don't see it as being as powerful as it could be. So you understand the ancestral part. You understand the creative part. What you don't see is your own power. Unfortunately, that's ancestral too. Find your ability to see your power, and you will see your ability to create the changes you need. Oh, Febborn, you're so sweet. Gemini Sun, you are very welcome. Still waiting for comments on the magic of great need. What do y'all think? What do y'all think about that? All right. Christine Hallowell, so good to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member. Thanks for using members only emojis. How can I best cultivate and express my magic? Happy to be a part of your magical community. So happy that you're here. So you are very good at sharing with others. Betty Flesher gave you chills. Yay! That's what I wanted. That's what I wanted. Good, 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 good. Okay. Christine Hallowell. Your magic, like you really are good dealing with younger people. Like you're a great teacher. You're a great giver of energy and information, and that's magical. You are also very good at tapping into traditions and using those traditions to create energy. So teaching younger people and tradition, at least some of it. And Ness, I'm going to go ahead and Ness, this job and boss is getting more and more uncomfortable. Where's it going? Well, that's where you need your magic. Bring your magic in to either mitigate the problems or create a new job. There it is. Jolie James, good to see you. Today we're talking about how we stay magical. Do you have a question around that? Okay. Okay. And Ness, didn't want to double dip. Sorry, that ship has sailed. Job and managing your boss. This can be done magically. This absolutely can be done magically. And it's your boss and one other person at work. And I feel like first we do magic to make work better, and then we do magic to find better work. That's what I think. Okay. Okay, so Susan Toklas, thanks for being a member. Let's find your magic. You know, so here's the thing, Susan Toklas. You have the ability to commit yourself to a cause, to a service, to helping someone, and to be there selflessly. That's part of your magic. Sometimes it backfires on you, though. You got to be careful. All right. Does that make sense, Susan? Okay. Betty Flesher. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member for more than 3 years. So great to see you at StaarCon. Where or maybe what are my magical skills? And by the way, speaking of StaarCon, if you have a StaarCon ticket, there is in the meeting hall lounge tonight at 8 p.m. a charm casting workshop with Brenda Elizabeth, 8 p.m. Eastern time. You know you want to be there. All right. Let's see. Betty Flesher. Where or maybe what are my magical skills? You are very good at meditation, healing, communication with those in spirit, finding solutions to problems, and healing. Did I say healing? Also healing. Also healing. And divination is part of that. Let me know what you think. All right, Jolie James, so good to see you. Thanks for being a member. What do I need to do to bring out my magic at this time? Right, and I've got that Monty Python, bring out your dead, like bring out your magic. No, it doesn't work like that. Let's see. Oh, Queen. Ask an Aquarius. In priestess training, I was taught to calculate by the moon phases, but I was told not to wait if there was an emergency or a great need. So that's very true. Thank you. Thanks for backing that up. Joyce Ocean, yes, you did. You did miss your reading, but not too far. Not too far. Oh, and Kristen Louise, I skipped you. I'm going back to Kristen Louise, and then I'm doing Jolie James. Forgive me. Kristen Louise Tarot, thanks for being a member. We appreciate you. How do I connect better with Lilith when I don't have the time and energy for a magical practice? And I'm going to have even less soon because I'm going to begin volunteering. Let the magic be about healing and well-being primarily. And in working with Lilith specifically, just talk to her. Talk to her when you're driving in your car. Write to her. Write her notes. Just keep communication with her. Talk to her before you go to bed at night. Just talk to her. That's really the key. Just talk to her. You don't have to do the elaborate stuff if you don't have time for it. Just talk to her. Keep her in your mind. Let me know if that makes sense. Okay. Oh, and I also, Jolie, I'm still getting to you. I also skipped Claire C. I'm so sorry. Claire C., thanks for being a member for more than 3 years. It was great to see you at StaarCon. Is there a magical tool to help me follow through on my inspirations? I'm going to literally say, since we're here in Florida, use the sun. And I mean, obviously I could say, well, tarot, but honestly, connect to the sun. When the sun is out, go and show your face to the sun and bring the energy of the sun into your heart. Do the lion pose, right? Stick your tongue out and show the back of your throat to the sun. And let the sun fill you and give you power. Then get inside before you get a sunburn. There it is. Okay, Jolie James, thank you so much for your patience. Thanks for being a member. What do I need to do to bring out my magic at this time? Stop feeling guilty about things that aren't your fault. Stop letting people manipulate you. Stop feeling like you owe everything to everybody. And I say that after, you were a great volunteer for us, but I feel like that was mutual, right? That worked for both of us. But I think you've got things going on that are not mutual, where people put things in your mind and in your head and make you feel like you're responsible for things you're not responsible for. Good. I thought so, Jolie. I thought so. So it's about getting rid of guilt and getting rid of feeling like you are less than And yes, sometimes it feels like I'm holding up the world. And I mean, there's ways energetically and ancestrally that you kind of are, but there's ways that you're not and you don't have to. And some of this comes from your ex. I'm sorry, but he put a lot on you energetically that needs to come off. That's what I think. Let me know what you think. All right. Mary, good to see you. Do I have magic skills? I think we all have some. Let's see what you got. I think you have a great ability to heal and manifest, but I feel like you don't know how to do it yet. You have to be able to see it and feel it and believe in it and bring it forward. Oh my gosh, Betty, we both got the Four of Swords for you. That's amazing. Jackie Masters, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member for more than 3 years. Jolie James, that's for sure. Yeah, I think that's a lot of it. Very interested. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Okay. Jackie Masters, it was so great to see you at StaarCon. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member for more than 3 years. Where and what is my magic, and how can I integrate it more into my life? How can I strengthen it and make it my friend? You have to be able to see it and claim it first. And there's a part of you that was taught to play small. There's a part of you that was taught to exist at the pleasure of others, to exist for the comfort of others. And you can't do that anymore. You have to allow yourself to be energetically as big as you are, and don't be afraid of that. That's the key. That's the key. Does that make sense? Let me know if that makes sense. Mary, that's perfect. That absolutely makes sense. Okay. Here we go. Blue. I see you. And then I didn't see you. Blue Skies 505. Good to see you. This is a good one. Could ancestral, first of all, Blue Skies 505, thanks for being here and thanks for being a member. We appreciate you. Could ancestral refer to who and what we were in past lives? Yes. So I always go to Nancy Hendrickson as sort of a person who does a lot with ancestors. And she talks about this. She talks about ancestors of blood, ancestors of like past life stuff, that's, ancestors of affinity, if you will. And I would also say there's ancestors of tradition. Like, I believe that early tarotists are my ancestors, even though I'm not related to them, right? So whatever tradition we follow, I believe we have ancestors there too. All right. All right. From my perspective, I've come to the end of questions. If I accidentally skipped you, please let me know. If you're here and have not yet asked for a reading, like Blue Sky 505, do you have a further question there that I could read on? I'd be more than happy to. It is last call for readings, y'all. Jackie Masters, yeah, that makes sense. That lesson was taught to me at a young age, and as an adult, I feel society imposes that too. Yes, it does, both based on race and gender, right? Women exist for male comfort. People of color are taught to exist for white comfort. Yeah, don't be doing that anymore. So yeah, I mean, there is no doubt that we all deal with this, but if you're female, you deal with it more. And if you're non-white, you deal with it even more. Like, that's real. So yeah, there it is. There it is. And then Jackie says, well, what is my magic? Yeah, you got it. What is your magic? Seeing, knowing, communicating. I think divination is part of it. I think you can smell truth a mile off, and therefore I think you can smell bullshit a mile off as well. And I also think you're very good at making things happen. You are a good catalyst. I think there's that too. Oh, baby cakes, you're so sweet. Thank you for being here with us today on this dreary day. I feel instantly better. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you. As I said, it is last call. Any other questions? I do want to remind those of you who are local that we have an in-person meetup, Panera Bread, Palm City, this Sunday, 4 p.m. I want to remind everyone with a StaarCon ticket that we have a lounge event tonight, 8 p.m., and 2 lounge events on Saturday, just saying. And a new class is up on the 18th, so make sure you join us for class, and members see that a members-only class has also been added. My friends, I appreciate you all so very much. Thanks for being here. Read the newsletter, subscribe to the newsletter. There's also a link to book a reading with me. Go ahead and do that. I am ready for you, and I appreciate you. You can see that I will be back tomorrow. The link's already up. I'll be back tomorrow with your Friday weekly wrap-up. I appreciate all of you so very much. Thank you all.